Hi, friends. It is Dr. Sarah, and I'm back with you today to discuss more about essential oils. Specifically, we're going to continue our topic on using essential oils to aid our detoxification and elimination and to safeguard us from the toxic exposures that we are up against in the world today. So this is a third video in our series, and what I'm going to do is kind of bring you up to date. And particular video is going to focus on how essential oils directly aid our detoxification processes and protect us as we are dealing with all of these different exposures in our chemical world. So first of all, we know that we are up against ubiquitous, persistent, harmful chemicals that impact our health and cause unwanted symptoms in our body. Now, unfortunately, if we're not aware of this, there's nothing we can do about it. But fortunately, now that we are aware of it, there are things that we can do to empower ourselves. One is to prevent excess exposures, and the second is to actually protect ourselves and help aid our body in dealing with these toxic chemicals. And that's where essential oils come in. So, for the past several weeks, we've been exploring how these aromatic allies can support us with our detoxification and help safeguard us from harm. One of the first videos that we discussed essential oils with detoxification was with their biochemical properties. So we want to prevent the negative repercussions and help our body deal with these toxins. And one of the ways that essential oils do this is through their multiple mechanisms of actions. We talked about their different biochemical properties, such as modulating inflammation, balancing hormones and neurotransmitters, influencing our stress response, supporting our mood, warding off different microbes, and aiding our digestion and elimination and a healthy microbiome response, and finally acting as cellular protectors, which is meaning that they are antioxidants. So that is one of the first ways that essential oils support us. The second way is that they can serve as safe cleaning substitutes and wellness enhancers. So this will decrease our exposures to all of the harmful chemicals found in cleaning products. We can also use them to replace synthetic fragrances, which are not regulated by the FDA and can cause a lot of health issues, sometimes serious. And we can use them to replace perfumes. There was a signature scent line that I introduced you to that uses all natural essential oils, and that can be used and replaced for perfumes if you're looking for something that isn't maybe as strong as essential oils, but will leave you with a signature scent like a perfume or a cologne would. So that was the second way. Now, the third way we're going to discuss more in detail in this video, and that is how essential oils directly impact our detoxification processes and how they can help prevent harm once we are exposed to these synthetic chemicals. And then the final installation in the series will be on the emotional aspect of essential oils and how that can assist our body with healing. Because when our nervous system is calm, that is when we can restore and rejuvenate from some of the stressors that we're up against every day. Okay, so let's get started with this third way that essential oils can aid us with detoxification and elimination. So we talked about their biochemical properties. What I want to focus on now is specifically how they act as antioxidants and anti-inflammatory agents. Now, what this means is those two particular biochemical properties of essential oils actually can shield us from the cellular damage that these harmful chemicals can cause on our cell structures and our organs. And what these volatile compounds do is they can prevent that oxidative stress. So when our body is up against different things that cause stress to our cells, so harmful compounds or maybe metabolic processes that aren't working as well, we create these free radicals, and essential oils act by actually calming down that free radical response. At the same time, they act as anti-inflammatory agents, so they bring down the inflammation that has been linked to so many metabolic and brain health issues. So there was a wonderful article, a review article, which expanded on how these antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties can help decrease these negative reactions in the body, decrease the risk for negative health consequences. I have a little summary in the actual accompanying article. Now, all of the links to the studies as well as the resources will be linked in the accompanying article. So that will not change if you want to learn more details. But basically, the antioxidant activity of essential oils, as I said, they scavenge these free radicals. They act as anti-inflammatory agents because there's two ways. The inflammatory response is a result of this oxidative burst that occurs from these cells when they're stressed out from these free radicals. But they also actually have interactions with signaling cascades involved in essential oils calm that down. So for those who wanted that science, that is there in more detail in the accompanying article, but basically they're protecting our cells from harm and they're decreasing inflammation in a variety of different ways. The good news is that the compounds that are present in essential oils that act as antioxidants and anti-inflammatory agents are terpenes and terpenoids, and those are found in virtually any essential oils that you love. So you can basically protect yourself from pollutants and help your body decrease inflammation with your favorite essential oil. So that's the good news. Now, there are other ways that essential oils can directly aid detoxification and help our body with some of the chemicals we're up against. And one of them is to actually help our body with detoxification enzymes. They actually help that process by upregulating certain enzymes that help our body detoxify in the liver or in other areas of the body. And one of the compounds that is most present that boosts the master antioxidant glutathione, which is a detoxification enzyme as well, is citral. And there are several oils that contain citral. There's also the ability of some essential oils to act as metal chelators. What that means is they bind the heavy metals, particularly excess iron. There's also some that can do other metals. They can bind those that have been found in preclinical or petri dish studies or cellular studies. And this is important because heavy metals, when they're in our body, can cause a lot of damage. So supporting our ability to bind them and get them out is important. So some of the highlighted oils with some of these properties, there's one called Raphidium echinus. It's not an oil that's all too common, but it does have evidence of being an antioxidant as well as having chelation potential for heavy metals. Some of the more common ones that you're probably familiar with are clove, which is one of the most powerful antioxidant oils. It's also a potential iron metal chelator. Rosemary oil, which we know is great for memory and great for the brain. There was a review article that showed there's a potential to have an iron chelating property. It actually was found to inhibit LDL, which is your cholesterol oxidation, which can cause some of the negative cardiovascular effects in your cardiovascular system. It's actually shown to inhibit copper-induced LDL oxidation in a cellular study. And in general, rosemary is an antioxidant and a neuroprotective agent. So that's very helpful when we're exposed to toxins. Lemongrass oil, which is high in citral, was shown in vitro to modulate this phase 2 detoxification enzyme glutathione. And then lemon oil and a lot of citrus oils actually have citral. They are antioxidant and they contain the anti-inflammatory terpene limonene, which has been found to be neuroprotective and have a lot of different benefits for the gut, for cellular health, as I said, as an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. So those are some ways that essential oils can directly aid detoxification and cleansing. So we have their biological properties of being an anti-inflammatory antioxidant. We have the fact that they contain some of these compounds that can help actually upregulate glutathione or some detoxification properties and even maybe help our cells chelate heavy metals. And then the other things that essential oils do that is pretty cool is besides having a multitude of wellness benefits is that they have been shown in pre-human clinical trials to directly impact cellular expression. So epigenetics is a very in term right now. We're exploring how different lifestyle things and what we eat can impact our cellular expression and actually make our cells healthier. So we can decrease our genetic risks by changing the way that cells function in our body. Essential oils are one tool that can do that. And there was an article called Essential Oils, a Systematic Review of Revolutionizing Health, Nutrition, and Omics for Optimal Well-Being. And the authors stated that essential oils have multiple health benefits, which we know, primarily due to their antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory effects. I would argue there's a lot more than that, but they went through several different essential oils. And some of the examples they give is cinnamon, altering bacterial membranes, modifying lipid profiles in a positive way, inhibiting cell division, and giving a potential benefit to a protection against colitis. So basically helping the body's cellular functions better. There's also been studies with cumin essential oil to help with metabolic syndrome and diastolic blood pressure, bringing that down. Coriander has been shown to improve health and resistance to bacterial infections, especially when used in food safety studies. Cumin essential oil has been known to treat inflammation. Parsley is a natural antioxidant. Orange peel, they say that's antibacterial, antifungal, antiparasitic, pro-oxidative. Lemon can affect mouse intestinal microbiota, but we know that essential oils support microbiome in general. And here's an interesting one that thyme essential oil protects the colon against damage and DNA methylation. So there you go. There's a direct epigenetic effect. They found carcinoic acid and rosemary can also help prostate cell viability, modifying some of the cellular structure that can happen when there's cancer. So these are all preliminary cellular studies, but they're all pretty interesting in how our bodies take in essential oils and use them to protect our cells and organ systems. So there you have it. Let's talk a little bit about what we do with this information now. How do we incorporate essential oils to help our body with this detoxification process? So the first and simplest thing that I always recommend is diffusing. Most people can get a diffuser, and I recommend ionic or atomizer diffusers because they tend to keep the intact essential oil and preserve its therapeutic properties, disperse it a little bit more evenly. But any essential oil diffuser will do. And you can take some of your favorite essential oils and just diffuse them in the air. And that'll help as you breathe in the molecules to help our bodies with all of these effects I discussed. Because whether you're breathing them in, rubbing them on, or taking them internally, they get into your system, which is funny why so many people say that ingestion can be so toxic. Well, there are aspects that you have to be careful about, such as quality and dosage. But properly applied ingestion and internal use of essential oils is okay if you know what you're doing and you're under a healthcare provider or an aromatherapist guidance, and you want to make sure you have the correct dosage. So sometimes for people that are going through a lot of exposures, I will use that method. I will use topical application and I will use diffusing, just being mindful of not overdosing on essential oils. But if you use them wisely and you use them within proper instruction, they are very effective tools that can help our body deal with these chemicals that we're up against. So those are the ways to use essential oils for detox. So we've gone through all of the different ways essential oils help us cleanse and detoxify as a quick run through. It's because of their biochemical properties that they can substitute for harmful chemicals in our consumer products, our fragrances, and our colognes and our perfumes. We went through how they directly support detoxification and elimination pathways, how they act as anti-inflammatory and antioxidants, and then we're going to talk about how they assist with emotional balance. They can also aid us in cellular signaling molecules. So that was a lot. It was a little more scientific than I probably intended it to be, but it just got so interesting to me. And remember, there will be all of the references and the resources and the links to the studies in the accompanying article, so you can check that out. And I'd love to hear what you think and if you've incorporated essential oils and how they make you feel in your environment. I have right now a couple of blends diffusing in my home. And stay tuned because more of these videos will be coming up. If you don't want to miss any, make sure you subscribe. And I will be making an exciting announcement about my upcoming brain health program. Incorporates essential oils, but it's going to incorporate a lot about the brain health in general, the foundation of health and how to live your fullest life based on your values and taking information to empower yourself. It will not be a cookie cutter approach, I promise. All right, that being said, have a beautiful day and I will talk to you soon.